Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is still August the 19th, and I'm still doing videos this week for the day ahead. So trying to get ahead. Hopefully it's been helpful for you guys. Golden State, Minnesota has not tipped off yet, but 165 and a half is what I got. That number is down to 161 and a half. Looks like FanDuel got a 162 and a half right now, but that's gonna tip off in about 45 minutes to an hour. Washington is beating Toronto 63 to 52 in the third quarter with 2 minutes left. So we'll see how that all plays out. I didn't bet the Toronto Washington game, just the under in the Minnesota and Golden State game, and probably should have added the first half under, but did not. 84 and a half, I think, was the number last night when I made the show. We'll see where it closes at tonight and see what that game has in store for us. So let's jump into it. I hope you guys have been finding some ways to make some money. Oh, quick recap. Yesterday, uh, Toronto got there plus the 10, took that late fourth quarter comeback, and then um, Vegas kind of laid the egg, man. Just kind of disappointed the whole night. They did not get the job done. Atlanta got a win against a good team for the first time in a very long time. That spot came up again. I would bet the same thing. Just thought the Aces look really, really poor on defense. It's gonna be interesting to see how they respond against the Connecticut Sun, which they play tonight. So let's jump into it, man. I got a headache. If I'm short, it's probably just because the lights are bright and not like in real life, but like just in general, the light behind the camera is bright. And I'm also tired, man. I'm exhausted. I'm ready to go to bed. Little bit of a headache, but we're gonna push through, man. Give you guys what I got in my notes and get out of here. So we'll start off with Jackson, your AI Sports Betting Tools, linked in the description as always is. Same prompt, analyzed because Jackson got this right yesterday. It was Jackie Young over her 18 and a half points. She got there pretty easily, even though the aces didn't show up. So maybe just bet on Jackie. So analyze tomorrow's 8:20 WNBA slate to identify the highest value opportunity of player props. Focus on lines to show a significant discrepancy against 5 game rolling averages and tracking changes in usage rate due to injuries or favorable defensive matchups, specifically targeting matchups in points, rebounds, or assists. Please provide the data, underlying metrics, and reasoning for each recommendation. The top player prop for tomorrow, right back to the well, man. Jackie Young over her 24 and a half points plus rebounds this time. So it says we don't have to read through this too much because we know she's just been crushing it. And I'll show you guys on Outlier. But it says that Young is cleared 24 and a half points plus rebounds in 9 of her last 10 games, sitting at a 90% hit rate over that window with a 27.9 rolling average. Over her last 5 games, she's 80% to the over, 25.4. And even the 20 game sample holds a 65% hit rate with a 25.5 average. The season line sits at 23, which means this prop is being priced basically at her baseline, while she's still running nearly 5 points above that right now. Why the matchup helps? This is a home spot for Las Vegas against a Connecticut team gutted in the front court with Brittany Griner and Leah Edwards all out, which they're not out. They're listed as questionable. The Suns simply don't have enough length or rim protection to deter the Aces drivers. Young attacking a depleted interior while her own usage stays elevated is exactly the kind of exploitative PRA spot the market tends to lag on a rising trend. So that is the look. Jackie Young over her points and rebounds tomorrow, 24 and a half minus 104 on FanDuel right now. Let's jump into the matchups. Again, I'm gonna try to be pretty quick, but I am gonna give you guys everything that I have in my notes as I always do. So first game up, let's get it highlighted, is Indian Dallas. This line is on the move in favor of the Indiana Fever, and for good reason. So let's talk about it. Injury report wise, Kelsey Mitchell did leave that last game, but they were just saying like the only reason she left because it was so hot. They didn't got no air conditioning in Toronto, is what Caitlin Clark said after the game. So Kelsey Mitchell is probable. She should likely return and play in this game, even though she didn't come back in the game last night. And then Caitlin Clark is listed as probable. Leah Boston isn't even on the injury report, which is good. And then on the Dallas side of things, AZ was supposed to return, she will not return even for the rest of the season. That's a big blow for Dallas, man. I think, her offensive numbers, both on and off the floor, I think I gave them to you guys when they were playing that game against Golden State the other night. They've just been, she has the highest plus minus on the team. And that's significant, man. Dallas is, I think kind of like, I'm not gonna say tucking their tail, but like they just don't have enough without her. Like it's her 3-point shooting, her spacing, but it's also her defense. She guards the other team's best players. So it's a big hit, man. Indy has been on a roll. We know that. They've won 5 in a row, 8 of their last 10. They're just kind of clicking at the right time. They didn't cover that game against Toronto, which we got right. And this is their third straight road game of a 5-game road trip with only 1 day of rest traveling from Toronto. But it's hard to look towards Dallas, man. They're going in the wrong direction at the wrong time. Losers of 5 of their last 6. They've only covered 2 of their last 8. 3 straight unders. This will be their first game back home off a 2-game road trip, and they still have yet to play back-to-back games in the same arena. I want to say it's close to a month now. 6 straight non-covers for them, of course, coming off that loss to Golden State. They need a win in the worst possible way. They do have one extra day of rest in this spot because they played in Golden State on Monday, whereas the Fever played, on Tuesday in Toronto. I just can't take Dallas. I get it. Like they desperately need a win, and they may be the more motivated team. And India is coming off, a super easy game, but I think Indiana should win this game. Indiana got their revenge when they played Dallas in the last game. They beat them and covered that 7.5, but it wasn't until late in the fourth quarter. Dallas first quarter may even be a good look in this spot, just because Indy, they come out, they play around with their food. I know that they won the first quarter last night. They shot the ball really, really well, ended up with 33 points, and then they kind of slowed down as the game went on, as I kind of anticipated because they were coming off the overtime game. But I think Dallas can keep this game competitive. I think Indy wins the game, and it just kind of keeps their winning ways going. So I did bet Indy in this spot, minus 144 on the money line. It dropped to minus 142. Let me see what the best number is right now. I will be on Indy tomorrow. Minus 142 is still available on DraftKings. It wasn't available when I bet it because I would have liked to say that 2 cent. But yeah, I will be on Indy tomorrow. I bet it already. And as far as the total goes, I do think it's a little bit more of an over game. 186.5 is what I saw the opener at. Without AZ there, the offense will, the defense will still be bad in my opinion. And I'm looking for both teams to continue to be able to score the basketball. Dallas defense is taking a big hit. Without AZ, Indiana defense I just don't like the spot for them. Third straight road game. I know that they can score the basketball, and I don't know, man. I just feel like the Fever are not getting a lot of stops right now. So open at 186.5. It's come down to 185.5, 184.5 out there as well. I got a couple systems on the over. That's what I would be playing if I'm playing anything at all. But I may not. I probably won't end up on side in total. I just played the Fever. And we'll talk about player props in just a second. I'm trying to go fast, but I realized I talk a lot. Just trying to give you guys everything that I have in my notes, though. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Connecticut and Las Vegas. So Connecticut getting 13.5 in this game. Let's see real quick where the line open. Yeah, open 13.5, total open 169.5. But it's starting to come down a little bit. The 169.5s are gone. 168.5, so it looks like across the board. So injury report in this one has Brittany Griner and Aaliyah Edwards both listed as questionable. And then Dana Evans is listed as out on the Aces side of things. So I kind of anticipated, like, I'm not going to be playing in a lot of these teams that don't have anything to play for. I won't be playing them because it's really difficult to figure out, how they're going to play and, when they'll get up for games and when they're not. So I've been kind of skipping over these type games, but I had a feeling that Connecticut would come to play against the Sparks in that last game. And they did. They won the game outright. Shot 51% from the field, 33% from 3. And this game was one without Brittany Griner. This one was without Aaliyah Edwards. I kind of think they continue to sit. I think Connecticut wants to lose. And the Aces, of course, need a win, especially after losing the way that they did against the Atlanta Dream. Back-to-back losses for them. Only one of the first times all season they've lost back-to-back games. So I do think they win. Winning is not going to be enough. You're laying 13.5. The way I kind of think about this game, and I'm just skipping over my notes, but the way I'm kind of thinking about this game is I want the Aces early. I do think, with Becky Hammond getting tossed out of the game, if you guys got a chance to see it, and then, just them not being able to respond. They got punched in the mouth in that second quarter. I think it was like 28-16, and they never could recover. They end up losing the game by double digits against Atlanta last night. So now you have the Aces, the last game before game homestand, and coming off back-to-back losses. I put my money on the Aces in the last game. I wasn't on them against Minnesota. I won money against, we took Minnesota in that spot. But I did think that they would beat the Atlanta Dream and sweep them on a season series, and they did not. But yeah, this is an easy Aces spot for me. Full game, I'm not 100% sure. I think that they should cover probably a trifecta, first quarter, first half, and full game. But I want Aces first half. That's what I'm gonna bet in this game. I don't even think the number is out quite yet, but I'll show you guys. We can go over to Moneyball and I'll go through it a little bit more. A couple things I wrote in my notes. A lot of what's been going on has been their offense. They haven't scored 90 points, but once in their last 8 games and twice in their last 10. That's contributed to 4 straight unders. Looks like Aces first half is going to open up like around -7.5 or 8.5, and that's to be anticipated. They're going to shade it that way because the Aces have been good in the first half, and I think Connecticut just doesn't come to play. I want Aces off back-to-back losses too, though. Vegas is actually on this team as well. They've won 10 straight. They've covered 8 of the 10. Connecticut did cover at home. They were getting 14.5 points. Aces won by 29 in the first meeting as 14.5 point home favorites in the matchup earlier this season. And then for Connecticut, like I said, they're coming off a win as a home dog against the Sparks. And they have covered in back-to-back games, but both of those games were at home. This will be their first game on the road after a 4-game homestand. So we go over really quickly. Shout out to my guys at The Money Baller. I want to show you guys something real quick. So this is Money Baller. Let me see if I can minimize myself a little bit. So yes, Connecticut has been, putting together some back-to-back, some good performances. I don't really care, honestly, if Aaliyah Edwards play and Brittany Griner play. I think I'm going to be on Aces first half regardless, but I'll wait for the injury report to come out. I think Aces by double digits in the first half, though. I do think that they'll have a double-digit lead. So we just look post-All-Star break. Connecticut has been playing some of the worst basketball of the season. You can see that they're the worst offensive rated team, 97 points, defense, 15th in defensive rating. Offensive rating, and then 11th in defensive rating. They're minus 15.3. If we look post All-Star break and we look home road splits, we have a 4-game sample here where the Sun have been on the road, and the Sun have been on the road, and they've been and it's after the All-Star break. You can see in those 4 games, the worst offensive rated team, the second worst defensive rated team, and the worst net rated team. That's right here, minus 21.85. The Aces at the crib, 5th in offensive rating, 8th in defensive rating, and 6th in net rating. But honestly, you can't quantify like them off back-to-back losses. I don't even think the Aces have lost back-to-back games this season, but maybe once. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. I know that they won't be really, they don't have a look ahead spot either. I looked at that. I think they got the Tempo up next, back-to-back games against the Tempo. Aces have lost 2 games twice this season. And in the next game, they smoked the Valkyries 91-81 as a 1.5 point road favorite. And then they had the Mystics. And that was the recent one. That first game against the Mystics, they were laying 6.5 with the Mystics on a 7-game winning streak, I think it was, and they beat the Mystics by 10. Both times they held their opponent under their team total. 81 points is what they gave up to the Valkyries and 76 against the Mystics. So I know that the Aces are shorthanded. It seems like they just missed, like it's a lot of, just Asia, Chelsea, and Jackie. Because Jewel Lloyd, I saw some stuff that, she's having one of her worst games. Probably her worst season ever. Points just continue to drop. Field goal percentage is down. Field goal attempts is down. But yeah, I do think that they have enough. This Connecticut Sun team is not a real team, man. They're like trying to pack it up. So I don't think that they'll come out with any effort in this game. I think they get smoked, man. You can see that they're over these 4 games post All-Star break on the road, averaging 80 points and giving up 98. The Aces are only winning by 3, 90-87. But if we go here, this is one of the things that got me there. The Connecticut Sun in the first half as road dogs 0-2. Connecticut for the full game 0-4. So they haven't covered any game post All-Star break, and you can see them as a dog of 1-4. I'm sorry, of 1-10. They have covered just one of their five. So yeah, if we just take post All-Star break off, we just go down here, look at the Sun. I've been relatively strong in the first half, 9-7, but yeah, I like the Aces, 11-7 here. That's what I like. I like Aces in this spot. Hopefully I did a good job of explaining why. But yeah, I'll take them at the crib off the 4-game losing streak. I mean, off the 2-game losing streak for sure. All right, so that's that game. I like Aces first half, maybe even Aces first quarter. We'll see what happens with the injury report. All right, last game on the board is oh man, my head's throbbing. Last game on the board is Atlanta in LA, the Sparks. So game we played in LA, of course. Injury report wise, there is some significant stuff here. Not on the Atlanta side of things. They look like they have a pretty clean injury report. On the Sparks side of things, Erica Willer is probable, Akoa Makani and Cameron Brink are all listed as probable. And then I do think it's interesting to know narrative-wise that that Neko Ogwumike did announce that she will be retiring at the end of the season. So really quickly, Sparks have this game against the Dream. Then they got the Sun coming into town. Then they got the Dream coming into town. And they got the Mystics coming into town. So 4 games in a row that they'll be at the crib. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they go play at the Storm. And then they got 4 more games at home. They actually finished the season against the Valkyries, which they'll lose that game as well. But they have, a couple other games to kind of, honor, I guess, NECA and what she's been able to do for this franchise. I know that they won a championship. I don't know how many they won, but I know they at least won one. This game is a tough one because I'm not somebody that wants to lay a lot of points on the road with Atlanta. I know that they just beat the Aces. Like that doesn't really move the needle for me as much because I see this team play with their food a lot. This is their second straight road game. Of course, they're coming off the upset against the Aces. They have played in 3 straight unders. And even though they did beat the Aces the other night, they're still just 3-7 ATS in their last 10 games. Matter of fact, if I look at the Dream, I didn't even look this up. If I look at the Dream and I look at them as favorites and they're laying, let's just say more than 2 possessions, so more than 5, 8-13 ATS. And if they're on the road, 4-5 ATS. So it's not a spot that I necessarily want them in. The 5-4 to the under, like nothing really sticks out to me in this game at all. Especially with the Sparks kind of getting their players back and coming back home. I know that they got smoked in their last game, but the Sparks, just like all the other sorry teams, they probably end up playing better at the crib too. It wouldn't surprise me if they covered the first half. It's not the greatest spot for the Sparks though. This is they've lost 5 straight. Have failed to cover in back-to-back against the Washington Mystics and the Connecticut Sun. This also be their first game back home off a 3-game road trip, and they played 6 of their last 8 on the road. Offensively, they really started to struggle, scoring 81 points or less in 3 straight games. They're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games as well. And Atlanta's kind of dominated this matchup. They've won 7 straight in the head-to-head, including the earlier matchup that was in Atlanta, but they did fail to cover by half a point. They were laying 9.5, and they end up winning that game by 9. So the way I kind of think about it is the Sparks, their pace is slowed down a little bit. I kind of want to take the Sparks team total under. Or either, like at first I was looking at Atlanta first half, but I don't know. I never really trust Atlanta. They're just like too Jekyll and Hyde for me. Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard they just fall in love with jump shots, and then you just got Angel Reese down there, getting a whole bunch of me boards and me bounds, and I don't know, man. I'm not big on this Atlanta team. I know Jordan Kennedy being back is helpful. She did play for the Sparks team as well, but I don't think I can get there. So Sparks team total under. What I wrote in my notes is that the 8-2 to the first half team total under the Sparks are, and 7-3 to the full game team total under post All-Star break. So Sparks have been struggling, specifically early. Sparks are actually going under at the highest rate post All-Star break. They have the highest under frequency, and a lot of it has to do with their 11th adjusted offensive rating. They're also bottom 3 in free throw rate, offensive rebounds, and second chance points. All things that Atlanta do a really good job of. So yeah, I guess if I had to bet it, it'd be Sparks team total under, but I don't have to. So probably end up sitting on the bench and in the sidelines on this one. Jordan Canada assist might be a good look. Matter of fact, let's go over the outline really quickly and look at more player props, and then we'll get out of here because I feel like I've been talking for too long already. All right, so minimize myself. Let's go. So this is Jackie Young. I told you guys we look at Jackie. This is her points and rebounds. She's been crushing the line. You can see over in 9 of her last 10, averaging 27.9. You can see that right here. And this is always, the show is always presented by Outlier. So if you guys are interested, make sure you use that link to check it out for your player prop needs. But yeah, Jackie gets a really good matchup against Connecticut tomorrow, a team that's not really stopping anybody. In the first matchup, she did only have 13-6 though. I feel like Asia typically has really good games against Connecticut as well. And if Brittany Griner's out there, I mean, honestly, don't really matter who's out there. Asia should have a really good game. And I can see Chelsea, diamond tomorrow as well. Asia points 25.5. She has been going over 3 of her last 4, 4 of her last 6, and 7 of her last 10. She's over this 25.5 number. It's just not a lot of resistance as far as points allowed against this team. She hit them for 45 the last time that they played as well. I don't think I remember that. 45 points for Asia in that game earlier this season. So, I mean, clearly they don't have a matchup for her. This was the game that they won 104-94, 101-94. I don't know if she'll be needed for all that. Jordan Canada, other player I wanted to look at really quickly. Let's see. Jordan Canada's assists are listed at 7.5, -122 on Novig, -132 on FanDuel. So it's already getting juiced. Probably end up closing 8.5. And yeah, you can see here that they give up the second most assists. I think who gives up the most assists? I think Toronto does. So yeah, it's a really good spot for Jordan Canada, even though she is coming off a couple stinkers. I mean, she actually hasn't been going over recently, but it's a really good matchup for her. Let's see what she did in that last game. I want to say, did I take her assist over in that game and she didn't do anything? Let's see. Oh no, she got the 9. So yeah, she does well against the Sparks team. You can see 3 straight games she's been over. These ones, of course, came from last season, but yeah, over here as well. 9 assists in that game. So Jordan Canada assists. Angel Reese rebounds. I mean, it's a lot of, like, I guess we could call them like just obvious player props for tomorrow. That I would be, that some of the obvious stuff should probably hit tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I like, man. I've been talking way too long. If you guys enjoyed the show, found it useful, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe if you can. As far as recap, the only thing that I did bet so far is I bet Indy on the money line, and so this could be green. Other things that I'm considering, I want aces first half, so this red. Las Vegas first half. I think the number should come out 7.5 or like 8.5. But yeah, I would be betting that. Let's just put 8, make it safe in the middle. I think they should be winning by double digits at halftime. Also agree with the under that's coming in that game. Specifically a Connecticut team total under. I do think they'll struggle to score the basketball. AC should be turned up defensively tomorrow after giving up a lot of points in back-to-back games. And then the Sparks team total under. I don't even think that number has dropped yet either. Let's see. Like 87. Yeah, I don't think they're getting to no 87 points. So yeah, under 87 and a half. I might end up betting that too, honestly. And then we got to keep the good times rolling with Jackie, man. Jackie Young over the 24.5 points plus rebounds. I think it's solid. I like that a lot. I like that look a lot. It was a couple other ones as far as player props go. Jordan Canada, I talked about her over her assists as well. Over her 7.5 assists. I think there was a couple more that I like too. Caitlin should be able to get busy. I would probably be looking at her over her points. And Alicia Gray has been playing a little bit better recently. I could see her scoring against no guard defense. Yeah, those are the ones that I would probably be targeting for tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are playing. Resources all linked in the description of the video, as they always are. It's going to be it for me, man. Y'all enjoy the games on Thursday, and I will catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.